Hello there, kittens and kickstands. Welcome to Basically Misled.
I'm Dagny.
And I'm Day.
We give advice. 50% is life-changing, 50% will leave you crying in a stairwell by the end of the day. You decide which is which.
Come procrastinate with us while we chatter endlessly about things you could probably just Google.
Today's episode, adulting.
Oh my.
I feel like this is a huge thing for people our age, as in like 18
I think
to
really
25.
Yeah.
Not that I know anyone who's 25, actually.
I do.
Do they also make comments about adulting?
Sure. Yes.
Yes, they do.
I feel like generally, yes. People around that age talk about adulting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we gotta establish the baseline here. How old do you feel?
That's such like a hard...
You can't tell the listeners your real
right
age.
Now. No.
Just not including our real ages. How old do we feel?
Because I often feel, for some weird reason, and I think it's mainly because in past times I've been perceived as being young. But that's really based on appearance and stature, I think, like physical stature. And so now, lately, like the past year that I've been talking to people, they think I'm older than I am. Or like around the same age that I am.
Yeah.
But like, I still feel young. Because I feel like I should be doing more with my life than I am for my age. I feel like. So I feel. But okay, lately, if people have been asking me how old I am, my first thought is 21, which is not my actual age. 21 or 22, I feel like.
Yeah, I feel like, I guess it's not bad to say my age. I feel like I'm ready to be 22, actually. Because usually, a lot of people will have weird answers to this, which is why we're answering it. Like, some people are like, oh yeah, I feel like 60. Or like, I'm an old person in like a young person's body. And I'm like, what does that even mean? I don't know, because I just feel my age usually. Although I will say that right now, despite the fact that I am not currently 22, I feel like 22. So I feel like just slightly ahead, but also my lack of like a serious like career, I feel like is putting me back. I feel like aside from that, otherwise I would feel older. But without a serious career, I have to say, I just feel my age.
Yeah, I always do a thing a couple months usually before my birthday where I start to just perceive myself as the age I'm turning, not as the age I am, and then I stumble whenever people ask me my age.
Yeah. I usually don't do that, but you must just be thinking ahead, and now I'm thinking ahead, apparently.
Well, I always think ahead. But I think there's so many unknowns happening in like the next couple of years that will make me feel extremely more adult.
That's true.
But also, I don't feel like I'm there yet because I don't know if I'll be able to achieve all these things. And if I can't achieve these things, then shit, I ain't an adult.
I feel like you will achieve those things.
Are you thinking of the one I'm thinking of though?
Within 8 years, you're gonna be able to do it. Like, will you do it in the super timely manner? Maybe not, but I think you will do it.
I know.
And that's okay.
Well, I'm definitely gonna do it. And maybe what's the word I'm thinking of? The perseverance?
You're thinking of perseverance.
Perseverance! I cannot speak. That's not an adult thing. No, but because of my perseverance, that makes me a little bit more, because I'm not going to quit early.
Right.
But God, I'm so worried about getting in. Sorry, I'm going off topic now.
Day's worried about getting into her next school. All right, but moving back, what makes what makes us currently feel most like an adult? Like activities that we do that make us feel most like an adult. Because I put this in because recently a couple things. I will say that going to school at Evergreen, I have been to the hospital like at least 4 times with at least 3 different people. I feel like there was maybe another person. But anyway, that always makes me feel older, honestly. Like, it's not me. I'm not the person in the hospital. But, like, going there and, like, making sure people are okay. Or, like, even if my only purpose is to drive them back, I still feel like I've aged. Right. Just by going there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like, being a person who people count on to take them there and things like that, I think, yeah. Yeah. I feel like I don't really know what makes me feel most like an adult. I guess being able to semi-support myself.
Yeah.
Like, I say semi because it's teetery. But like, I am basically supporting myself at this point. And
some impressive stuff. I have recently been tracking my money. Now, if that lasts, I feel like that will make me feel more like an adult, but it's not. I haven't been doing it long enough where I'm like, aha. It doesn't, I guess, at this point, because it's like, it hasn't been long enough, but I feel like if I started making a budget with it, that would. Okay, now I'm just moving into the future. Okay, what do I do right now?
Because part of me is trying. I'm like, well, what makes me feel most like an adult? The fact that I'm going to graduate college. But I'm like, Dave, you haven't even done that yet. You can't think in the future with these things.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of future decisions that I've made make me feel more adultish. But those haven't happened yet. So, like, I don't know, just
being in a serious relationship and ending that serious relationship for me was a major one.
Yeah.
Even though, like, people do that in high school, I guess. So, but just to me, it felt like very, it did for some reason. I don't know. It just, that was like a thing. I guess also, taking care of people who are really drunk actually makes me feel like more of an adult. I don't know why.
Yeah, me too.
Like, being the sober person.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
guess any kind of, this overall, any kind of aspect of, like, taking care of my friends when they're having a rough time, like, in a way that is, like, enough of helping and, like, giving to them that it stresses yourself out.
Right.
That feels kind of adultish.
Yeah. I think, I forgot what I was just going to say. I don't know. I think, okay, one of the things I've been doing lately is kind of processing a lot of stuff and realizing mistakes that may have happened or things that I didn't like, and to being able to admit that to myself and to really, like, look into it and not hide away from it like I might have done in the past is adulty to some extent for me.
I feel like when I do stuff like that, I feel like I've been attempting to do it and doing it for so long that I don't associate that with, like, being old, like, older. I don't, or
it's
like,
more me.
You know
I'm ready to accept that, so I feel more adultish because I'm at that stage.
Yeah.
But it might be more of an mental adulthood. Well, okay, it's all a facade. It's all a facade of being an adult or whatever.
Yeah.
Ages don't mean nothing but a number. It's all what you do with it, I guess.
It's interesting. A lot of people, like, in college, I guess, are basically, like, they don't have, or, like, it's not part of their identity to be taking a lot of responsibility for, like, things in their life. Like, even if you just think about, like, cooking.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people are like, I can't cook, or, like, don't cook, or, like, don't have time to cook, or something like that. Like, we both cook for ourselves.
Yeah.
Pretty much have been for, like, a long time.
Getting a little ahead of things. But, like, so we took a couple quizzes, and one of the questions was, do you cook for yourself? And I was like, yes.
Yeah.
Like, all the time. Because, yeah, like, I don't know. We couldn't really do it freshman year.
No, freshman year, no.
But I would have, had I been able to.
That's true, me too.
Yeah. And then we really started last year. And, I mean, sure, I buy some processed stuff. Like, you know, just ready-made meals. But that's only because I take so long when I cook. And I enjoy it so much. But I seriously take hours to make, like, a 30-minute recipe. Or maybe 1 hour. Like, you double the time it's supposed to take, and that's me.
Yeah, I feel like yeah. And also, I guess we have furnished our own place.
That's true.
I didn't really think about that, but we did do that. And I feel like stuff like that and, like, cooking for yourself, like, you're not even really allowed to do that as a freshman because, like, everything is, like, so many things are provided. They're like, just focus on, like, learning to do college.
Yeah.
Don't do all these other adulting steps.
Which I kind of appreciate.
Yeah.
But I was ready by, like, spring quarter to, like, start doing more.
Yeah.
And then I went home where I'm kind of used to not doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like this really weird limbo of me wanting to do stuff but not really feeling the ability to. So then when we moved into the apartment, it was great.
When I first became a freshman, I was, like, ready to do more, but I was also, like, I'd had a year where I feel like I was doing more, sort of. So I was, like, ready to do more, and then I kind of, like, backed off and, regressed back into it, which is another thing I feel like you do. You kind of act how people treat you.
Right.
But if you run your own household, no one's here to treat you anyway.
Yeah. I know,
do what we want.
So great. Yeah, we do what we want. I was going to say something, but I don't remember anything that we do that we want to do.
We put up posters of
yeah.
mostly naked women in scarves. Don't worry, listeners. They're clothed enough that it doesn't bother me because of how I like people in clothes.
Yeah.
But they're pretty... I wouldn't say they look happy. It's very artistic, I guess.
They're just some women doing their thing. And the wind's blowing their clothes away, you know?
That's a good way to describe it. The wind is blowing their clothes away.
To be fair, I'm pretty sure they're only wrapped in, like, pieces of cloth.
Like
it's not,
silks.
like, really clothing.
We should have an art night where we, like, replicate it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That could be good.
Anyway, I wanted to share this quote because I think it really relates to my life a lot.
It does.
It is found in this article that I'm not citing. I can't tell you where to find it. This is not a very unique story, so I just decided to steal it. This person says, I got excited about buying a new saucepan. If that doesn't scream adulting, I don't know whatever will. And this is really funny to me because I recently got a cast iron pan. Now, I don't know if you know about cast iron pans, but it's this whole process of seasoning the pan, which is basically like cooking on like fat in the form of like oil or like animal fat onto the pan to create a hard like non-stick surface, basically. So like a non-stick pan already has that on, but like a cast iron pan is like, it's this whole weird seasoning process, and like you're not supposed to use soap on them and everything. And I'm like basically taking care of this pan, and like I looked at it the other day and I was like, it looks so nice, like I think it's really like coming together and it's beautiful and I love this pan. And it's like, this article online has told me that that's adulting, so. Yeah,
I definitely feel like the things I get excited about are things that people my age usually don't.
Yeah, that kind of goes along with, recently I've been told I have a mom sense of humor.
Yeah.
I think we both have that. We have a mom sense of accomplishment.
We do. Yeah, like, okay, seriously, one of the most exciting things that has happened to me this year, like, okay, it's only the beginning, but this year, and will be the most exciting thing for a while, is a planner. I bought a new planner. And I'm just so thrilled with it. Because I can plan things and stay on top of things. And I'm just like, why am I so excited about a planner?
Yeah, I recently had, like, I'm trying to only go shopping once a week. Mm-hmm. And I have a grocery list that's actually, like, continuous. And I'm just leaving it on the fridge. So whenever I think of something, I just write it down.
Yeah.
So then I can get it when I go to the store.
Right?
Whoa.
Yeah. I know. I planned for 3 meals. And that's going to last me like a week and a half or 2 weeks.
I feel like you should say that you plan for 3 dishes.
3 dishes. Sorry, yeah, they're dishes. 3 different dishes.
Yeah.
The only issue is I forgot rice flour. Because I didn't think I would run out of flour, but I just did. So, not adulting of me, but
yeah, I don't know if we have more, like, tendencies to be, like, to have these, like, responsible, like, I want to say habits. That makes it sound like I'm saying we're more responsible, but, like, I'm not in, like, not in an overall sense, but to have this sort of, like, becoming like a mom.
I feel like it's kind of relates back to how our moms raised us a little bit, because you were given responsibilities, or at least, like, helped your mom with your brothers. And, like, I help my mom with my brother because, like, she can't all do it by herself, you know. So, like, we both kind of, like, helped our moms.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, now my brother is always like, Day, you're too momish. Like, stop being a mom. And I don't know how to not be momish towards him.
Yeah.
But I think that might be a little bit of why. Because, like, I wouldn't say it's just because we're the oldest children or something. Because we know plenty of other people who are the eldest, and they are not responsible. Which makes me sound such like a mom, I feel like.
Well, that's the other thing I was thinking about, is I feel like a lot of people are, like, they're excited and, like, and they're happy to, like, not take up all this responsibility, because, like, honestly, like, getting your bachelor's degree, like, in college, there's a lot of stuff that you don't have to do, and, like, you're gonna be fine. You could start doing it later, you know what I mean? Like, recycling. Like, people just start tearing, like, I was pretty bad at recycling in
we're bad about composting. That's
and, like,
our thing.
like, composting.
But we don't have a garbage. It's a whole other thing.
Compost is a pretty high bar. Like,
I get mad at myself all the time.
Well, I don't have that much compost, actually, at all. I don't have any compost these days. That's probably why I don't think about it.
Yeah, I have some because
Anyway, but the point is, there's, like, all these, I feel like, activities you could do. Like, honestly, like, a lot of people don't have to, like, budget as in, like, writing things down. Like, they're like, hey, don't spend all the money in my bank account, but you don't have to, like, write it down or, like, put anything in saving, you know what I mean? And, like, you'll be fine. No, it's not, like, the ideal, like, it's not, like, the perfect whatever adult, but, like, you're fine if you don't do that stuff. But I feel like we, like, do it, and we're, like, always so happy when we have, like, another thing to add, right? So it's, like, we like it.
I know, and, like, Dagny was talking to me about how she could, like, help me plan out a budget for, like, the next year after I graduate, and I'm honestly like, let's do it now. Like, I'm so excited and stressed about doing it, but, like, I'm like, yes.
Right? We should do it.
Yeah.
We should do it today.
I don't got time for it today, but yes.
But yeah.
Yeah, and I think, it's just, even, like, some of the people that I work with, or, like, have worked with in the past, like, okay, I keep going back to quiz results, But there was one or a couple questions that were like talking about how like it's important to be like timely to work.
Okay, pause. I think maybe
God.
we should go into the quiz because you keep mentioning it prematurely,
I'm
so
sorry.
we should explain. Okay, so we took this quiz, which was produced by, how do you pronounce his last name?
Robert Epstein?
Yeah, Robert Epstein.
The most glorious man in the universe.
He's our favorite psychologist, just to be clear.
We are a fan club.
Yes.
2-person fan club. You can join our cause in supporting him.
I know. You should send us money so we can go to the psychology conference in California this year, the
WPA.
The WPA.
Well,
in California, so we can watch him speak again.
Let's see if he is speaking this year, because he seemed very tired and stressed from last year.
Well, he was doing a lot of speaking things last year.
7 different presentations in a 3-day thing.
Anyway, so we saw him speak last year at the WPA, and he was great, and he was basically like, everyone's bisexual. Just kidding. He had more science behind it than that.
Yes.
But he was just a very good speaker. But we found this quiz by him, which...
He has so many quizzes.
He has so many quizzes. It's, like, pretty great.
And doing his quizzes helps him with his scientific research.
Right, so everyone should do quizzes by Robert Epstein.
Yes.
Anyway, so there's this quiz, which is how much of an adult are you?
I think so. The adultness test. How adult... That's all I can see.
Okay, so anyway, so we took this test, and it has, like, 15 areas, or 15 areas. I can count.
Yeah.
15 areas of, like, adultness, and it's, like, an actual test. Like, honestly, like, the questions seem very simple, but...
They did.
I honestly, like, trust that there's something behind it just because of where it comes from. I'd like to mention we also took a BuzzFeed quiz.
Yeah.
Where that one was judging me, I'm pretty sure, for liking vodka mixed with things.
And only having one plant. I think they judged me.
Yeah. Who says I need plants to be an adult? That's ridiculous.
Right? We should talk about what we think qualifies adults.
Okay.
Because we've been talking about adulting, but, like, what are our standards for being an adult?
Okay. Well, we'll have to get to that later. First, so there's all these categories, basically, and Day's talking about these categories. So there's things like love, sex, leadership, problem solving, handling responsibility, managing work and money. And so there's 15 of these categories that I feel like is actually, like, pretty, like broad. Like, I think it covers, like, a pretty good basis of, like, stuff.
Yeah.
So, anyway, back to what you were saying about the people you work with.
Yes. Okay, so one of them was, like, arriving to work on time. Is that good or bad? You know, type thing. And it's so interesting how many people that I work with don't arrive to work, like, early. Okay, like, early and on time are different, but a lot of people just, like, stroll in, like, 5 to 10 minutes late. Yeah. And they're, like, whatever about it. And maybe it's because of the job it is. But I'm like, you want to set up good foundations.
Right.
You know, and I'm always, like, I take the bus to work, and I could take 2 different buses. But I always take the one that leaves 15 minutes early because it means I'm going to get to work 100% guaranteed before I start. Right. Even though that could be, like, 15 more minutes of sleep I have and, like, 15 more minutes to, like, eat food. Because sometimes I just forget to eat food and then I can't before I have to go, you know. And also I've had, like, my bosses come up and, well, not come up to me specifically, but, like, talk to me and are, like, they're like, I don't understand how they're gonna survive when they have a real job that, like, they actually, like, really have to be on time for. And I'm just I'm like,
to me, being on time is not really about whether or not I can get away with it. Like, it just feels like not respectful to me. So it's like self-reinforcing that I go places on time. You know what I mean? Like, I think maybe like a couple times I've walked into class like 1 minute late, like recently, but I'm like never like late even to class when like honestly who's gonna record it? Like maybe no one. You know, like people are walking in to my class like for 30 minutes after it starts.
Yeah.
Just because there's so many also that's like it's easier for people to just continually walking in. But I don't like being late to things.
Me neither. And I think that also goes back to growing up. I was late so many different times. Right. And I hate that feeling. But, yeah, I'm just like, it's a respect thing. Yeah. Like, I'd rather show them that I'm anything. Like, show anything that I am interested and I value the time I'm going to spend with that person. So I'm going to show up early.
Right.
Or on time. At the latest.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So where were some areas that we varied in our quiz results? Because we were pretty similar in a lot of ways, which doesn't surprise me. Because when you think about it, Day and I are, well, we're already similar, but we're also like kind of becoming adults very close next to each other.
Yeah. So I
that
think we're
makes
learning
sense.
from each other.
Yeah. We were different on sex.
We were.
I was 89.
And I was 78.
So that must have just been the difference of one or two questions.
Well, it had to have been two. Okay, so there was this one that was our problem question. Because it was like, does homosexuality mean that two of the same sex, like same gender, are having sex?
Right. And to me, I read that as, does attraction to the opposite, does sexual attraction
to the same sex?
To the same, wait, what was the word they used?
I don't remember. Wait.
It was like,
started with an I.
Include?
No.
It wasn't include. Include is a word I would have been fine with.
Right. No, it was one that kind of just made the wording seem like if you were into the same sex, that meant you had to have been having sex with that same gender. I feel like I'm saying sex too many times.
Okay,
I'm gonna say
basically,
same gender.
The way that I was like, you could have rephrased it is like being sexually attracted to the person, like, implies you're also having sex with them.
Right.
And I was kind of like, no, that is just different. Like, yes, it's totally related.
Right.
But the way it was phrased, I was like, I would say that I don't agree with this because I feel like by that definition, not having sex with them, with like the person you were attracted to, made you not attracted to them. Which I'm like, no, that doesn't make sense.
So Dagny said no.
Honestly, I think the correct answer was yes. I think what they were going for, I think they meant, does that mean you could be doing this?
Right.
But I was like, nope, I'm standing my ground. This is not how I would phrase a question like that. Attraction does not imply having sex.
Dagny was like, you should say yes, because I think that lowered my score. So I said yes, but I got a score lower than her.
Maybe I don't know.
Because I don't know either. I'm trying to think of all the sex questions. Because they have love and sex different. Which, of course, because there's even a question on there that is like, if you're having sex with somebody, does that mean you love them? Or something like that. And it's like, no. Yeah,
and they're like, is love sex?
Oh, yeah.
Is love and sex the
same thing?
I wonder if that's under love or sex. It's interesting because either way we must have said something different, and I'm just not really sure what it was. But clearly I'm more of an adult when it comes to sex. I've never had sex.
Maybe that's what makes you. Like...
You've had sex. That makes you worse.
I see the word sex, and I'm just like, oh, give me some of that. You know?
Yeah, I think we had different for leadership, right?
Yeah, I was 89.
Yeah, I was 78. Which is actually, that's surprising to me, I guess.
Really? I was going to say that kind of makes sense.
You think you have more adult leadership than I do? Not that I think I have any, but...
No, like, I don't know. I feel like, I guess we both feel the need to sometimes take the role of leadership thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've been feeling very... Well, okay, no, I haven't. Well, I've kind of been feeling more leadery in my job.
Yeah.
But I think that's just because I've been given different responsibilities, and I'm not really leading anyone right now, so I don't know why I feel that.
No, I mean, I think you have the whole, like, leader by example thing, but I feel like in your class, are you a leader?
And
also, like, outside of school and work, are you a leader?
I feel like in some senses I am. I do it by situation. So sometimes I might not be the best for the leader position. Mm-hmm. But I think in school I am. No, I don't speak up that much. But I don't think that makes me leader or not. I think it's like whether or not I'm willing to take action if necessary.
That's true.
And I do that.
I think people ask you stuff and you're kind of like the voice of, like, I know what's going on in the class. I feel like, so that would be...
No, yeah, I observe a lot of people. I actually listen to our teacher. I read everything. I know what's going on. And if somebody starts saying something, I'm like, actually, it's this. Mm-hmm. You know, like, I do that.
Right. So actually, I'm just the leader in my mind. I'm not a leader.
I think lately I've been letting you be more of a leader in our personal life.
That's true.
I think so.
I think you definitely...
I've taken quite a few steps back.
Why have I been shoving you out?
No.
Oh. Why have you been taking steps back?
Because I don't want to be in that role.
Oh,
in our dynamic.
I see what you... Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about.
Like, I like to be towards the top, but I'm not interested in it.
I think that's fine. I think that will, like, shift. Yeah. That'll probably go back and forth. Also,
well, of course, we all know I'm the king in this relationship. I'm the top one. No, not... I don't like the king. I want to be higher than that.
The supreme leader dictator?
Yeah, I'm a dictator.
And we both know that you would only say that and it would only be funny if in fact you weren't. So...
Yes. Okay, anyway, what's another one?
So problem solving, I got 100% on problem solving.
And I got 89.
Which I don't know if is that just wishful thinking on my part, or do I actually know how to solve problems?
I don't know, because I feel like we're both good at solving problems.
I tried not to be, like, overly, like, promoting myself on this quiz, but also, like, I tried to be realistic, because I'm like, I'm not bad at stuff, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, so next one that we differ on is physical abilities, but that's because...
What did you get?
56.
Oh, that's right. You got 56.
I got 56.
I got nothing lower than 78.
I'm 56% of a physical adult.
Well, I'm only 87.
It was about
78.
It was about, like, strength and, like, working out and stuff. Yeah. And I'm, like, still trying to lose weight right now, which honestly I don't think is a quality of being less mature, especially because I feel like most adults have, struggle with that at some point in their life.
Does physical abilities encompass weight and stuff, or would that be personal care?
Oh, that's true. I don't know.
Because you got lower than me on personal care as well, right?
Yeah.
What was your score again?
89.
Okay, and I got 100%.
Tay 100% takes... The thing is that nowhere did they ask about stuff like this, but I'm just imagining you, like, waxing your eyebrows. And I'm like, that's why Day got 100%. But it didn't ask about that at all.
They just subconsciously know when I look at waxing stuff online.
What I'm surprised about is that, well, so I got 100% on managing high-risk behaviors.
Same.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh. Which ones did you not, then? Handling responsibility?
I got 100.
Oh.
We both got 100 on that one.
Which
and
one
I think...
was different then?
Okay, I need your phone so I can just look.
Yeah, you just tell us. Tell us about it. So also, just so you know, the percent is 100% would be like, oh, you're 100% of an adult, and then 0% is like you have no skills in this arena.
Oh, you got way lower than me on verbal. Okay, not way lower. Sorry. On verbal and math skills, you got 67, where I got 89.
Oh, they kept asking me if I could spell, and I was like, no.
Oh, I kept saying yes.
So I think that's the difference. It's not that
Well, no, there was one that said, do you spell incorrectly? And I said yes. And then it also said, do you spell correctly? And I said yes.
Yeah.
Because both,
the problem is that I don't think I'm a great speller. I can, and I definitely know how to use spell check, but it's not something I'm going to answer to a quiz. Yes, I know how to do this, because I feel like that's like a little bit inaccurate.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm seeing the ones that we differed in. We also differed in education, which I don't really know why.
Oh, that's kind of weird, because I got 100% on education.
And I got 87.
I fully
understand. Oh my god, I keep mixing them up. I got 78.
I fully understand the benefits of education. That's why I'll be done after this year. But Day has to continue on, because she clearly doesn't.
That's really the benefit of it. Well, okay, I was really pro-education on this. So, like, someone said you earn more money if you get a college degree.
That's what I said, yeah.
Yeah. There was one that said, and okay, I don't think our dear friend Robert was trying to trick us with any of these questions, but I'm so used to trick questions.
It's true.
That there was one that said you get a high school diploma if you, like, go to school or do an equivalent education test, which is the GED. Mm-hmm. And I said no, because you don't get a high school diploma.
Oh, is that what it said? I didn't read it like that.
Yeah.
I read it as you get an equivalent to it. Maybe that's not what it said.
I read it wrong, but I was like, no, Robert, because you don't get a high school diploma, you get a GED diploma. A general education diploma. Diploma. You know, but like, so that might be where I had one downfall, but there has to be another question I answered wrong, I feel like. Maybe not.
We're wrong. Adulthood is right. Anything else is wrong.
Yeah. Okay, I feel like...
Oh, I got really low citizenship.
Yeah, I did too.
Which doesn't surprise me.
And I'm like, which one did I do wrong on?
Like, if you were to give me all those things and say, which one are you lowest in, I would have said 100% citizenship.
Right. Okay, I lied. My lowest score was actually 67 on interpersonal skills.
Oh, right.
And you got a 78.
Oh, that's so just slightly higher.
Low on that one.
Oh, I know what mine was. It's because they said something like, oh no, they were like,
okay, I'll talk. I remember there was a couple that said, like, do you start conversation, basically? Are you one to initiate? And I said no. Because usually I'm not.
I also said no on a variation of that question, I think.
Yeah. Because, like, sure, I'm willing to, but I'm not the person who will. In many situations.
In most situations, I don't have confidence in that area.
Yeah. Like, yeah. So, I think that's where my downfall was on those kind of questions. But, yeah.
So, but like overall, my overall score was 85%, which I feel like is pretty good for somebody over halfway through college.
Right,
like,
yeah.
I don't know. I'm sure, like, you could just continue growing up, and, like, I feel like there's some life events that some people just never experience, that if you do experience them, will always just, like, make you feel older, you know?
Yeah, mine was 86, so basically your score, you know? And I was just thinking in my head right now, like, I want everybody I know to take this. Because I feel like there are certain things that I perceive, and I'm like, oh, that makes you less of an adult because you're doing this. But, like, according to Robert, are they or are they not an adult? More or less than me, you know?
Right. I mean, it is... There's a lot of categories, but it's also, like, very basic. And I think the things that we tend to get maybe, like, picky about or annoyed with are pretty specific. They're, like, specific things that people do that is annoying, but maybe it's not unadultish.
Right. I guess, yeah. Sometimes I just perceive being reckless as not being adultish. Although I know so many adults that are reckless. But they're not really adults. Briefly, even though the BuzzFeed quiz was kind of like meh, we both basically got the same score as well, which was 60 and 63.
Yeah.
And so...
Which is quite low.
That's very low, but it also was asking such ridiculous questions that I wasn't into it.
No. It's like the pop version of being an adult. Like, if you can have a dinner party and, like, regularly have plants. Also, it asked about your dishes. It was like, if you don't have any plates clean after you, like, make a dish, like, what do you do? Yeah. And my answer was, use the plate from lunch.
Same.
Because I'm like, duh. Like, I don't think that makes me less of an adult. Like, if it marked me down for that, I'm coming after you, BuzzFeed. Because, like...
Oh, it so did. But I'm like, why waste that water? And why waste that time when your food can get cold? You know?
Right.
To just, like... They're like a plate that has a few crumbs on it. I'm like, I'm probably eating basically the same thing. Because that's what I do. I go through phases of eating the exact same meal.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
Right? It's not... I don't know. There's no real reason not to reuse plates or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, now we've just been jabbering to the listeners for a long time about how adulty we are. Also, you know what's funny about the phrase adulting is I feel like people... I mean, when people use, like, the phrase, like, oh, like, I'm adulting today. That's, like, a thing people say when they do, like, one responsible thing. And then they're like, I'm adulting.
Roll your eyes.
But I feel like the phrase adulting is, like, specifically, like, a childish thing. And it's, like, even when people make steps in responsibility, sometimes I feel like it's a popular thing to do to, like, take steps to make it seem more childish / less impressive or, like, less momish. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like we should really quickly discuss what we think is meaning of adult. Like, what it is to be an adult, I think. Because we kind of talked about what makes us feel like an adult, but what is our standards for that we might not be reaching?
Mine's really short. Ready?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
I have more of an extent.
You can go first.
Okay, I don't know. This is, like, real basic, I feel like, and just off the top of my head. But someone who actually can support themselves, mostly, like, everybody needs help, like, whatever, is in a living situation they're okay with. Because, like, maybe our living situation isn't what someone else would want. That's fine. Somebody who is able to feed themselves or has access to ways to feed themselves, you know? Someone who has some sort of plan for their life. I feel like, I don't know, it might just be me, but I feel like you can't go through life being 100% spontaneous. You have to have some direction in your life to be able to be an adult.
Yeah.
You know?
This is the definition I just randomly came up with.
Go.
I don't know. I think, so my definition is going to be to have a sense of responsibility for the way you are and your impact on the rest of the world. It's like, that's like one thing, but that's kind of what I'm thinking of, is that, like, because if you're like, oh, why is this happening to me? Kind of like the world is, like, doing things upon you instead of, like, you're interacting with the world. I think that if you are a person who has responsibility for the way they are in the world, like, how they feel and, like, how they, like, whatever look, if that's, like, a part of it, and, like, you have that, and you, even if you aren't at the standards you want, if you feel a responsibility to have those standards and are working toward it, like, that's enough. And also, when you go out into the world, or by not going out into the world, knowing the effect that has on everything, and feeling that that is your responsibility, the effect that whatever you're doing is putting up.
Yes, I agree. There's a psychology thing for it that I'm like, oh, yes. Because I think, you have to be able to be your own advocate, be your own person, but also take responsibility for all of your actions, regardless of what they might be. And that was a question on the quiz. I think one of them. But yeah, although I don't know. I think it's also just a way some people are where they just blame external things for their issues. Maybe that means they've never grown up.
I mean, that's hard because, like, maybe it does mean you've never grown up. Because I'm like, well, if you have all of these, like, checklist things, but you blame other people for your problems.
Right.
That doesn't mean you're not an adult. You know what I mean? That's not what I'm saying exactly, but that's just aspirations. Anyways. Feel free to grow up at your own pace, as long as it's before the age of 23.
Also, feel free to take this and many other quizzes by our dear friend Robert, who doesn't know us.
That's true. I was joking about the 23. I don't claim to know that I have a rate that I think is appropriate for everyone to grow up at. So
no, everybody has different things that happen in their lives, and I think that makes it happen at different stages. And sometimes people wake up when they're 35, and it's just like a wake-up call. They're like, I gotta get my shit together, you know?
Right. Or some people, like, are ready to just live, like, the fun life until they have kids, and they're like, well, now I need to be serious for someone, and then they do.
Oh my gosh. Yep. Yeah. I mean.
But seriously, our friend, Robert take his quizzes.
Epstein.
We're gonna link it.
Oh, definitely.
We're gonna link it all over.
Oh, yeah. I just am so fond of him. Follow him on Twitter. He's on Twitter. I don't know his handle.
I'm not on Twitter.
I'm not either. But, like, I'm seriously thinking about going on it just so I know how he's doing. Wow.
We've spoken to him before.
We have. We got called out at being his fan club. It's not something we just made up.
Yeah, it's because we went to one of his, like, lectures. What, was it, like, 8 in the morning or something? Or was it 9?
Oh, it was probably 9. I think they started at 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
We went, like, at 9 in the morning,
8.
so no one else is up.
Yeah.
It might have been 8.
I think it actually was.
So we went at 8 a.m. and everyone else was, like, still asleep, and we're, like, one of the only ones there, but we're like, hey, he's on, like, the list. We have to go see.
And then I think somebody was like, wow, like, you're up early, and we're like, yeah, well, we have to see his lecture. And then I feel like people may have been at the next one. Because we went to 5 together. Like, Dagny went to some that were just his, and I think I might have gone to one that was just his. Yeah. But collectively, we went to 5 out of 7 of his talks. And the only reason why we didn't go to the other 2 is because we didn't know about him yet.
I know. We have the skills as an adult to arrive somewhere early to go seek knowledge, because education is power that we want. But we don't have the interpersonal skills to actually interact with the person we were coming to see. Yeah. In the way that wasn't just like, we're quiet, shy girls.
Right. But I'm pretty sure somebody was like, oh, you have a fan club to him. And then I'm pretty sure the next talk we went to of him, it was like packed. It was a really interesting talk. But we like had to stand in the back. I'm so sure he saw us. And it was like right after his other one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he's just so brilliant.
Okay, that's enough for today.
Oh gosh, I'm just in love with him all over again. Okay, that's it for today, Day. Calm down. Our interrogation continues with today's question. Do you hang?
Good news! You can now find us on YouTube, Spotify, CastBox, and Messy. Just search for Basically Misled. Oh, and Google Podcasts. That's what it's called.
Google Podcasts.
going to Google Play is kind of confusing, so just Google Podcast.
Yep. So simple. Okay. If you have questions you want us to answer on the show or stuff you want us to talk about, email us at basicallymisled@gmail.com.
Thanks for listening and good luck with your future endeavors.